Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke, my pronouns are she, her, and it's another weekly reading vlog. If you watched last week's vlog, you'll know that I started In Deeper Waters by F.T. Lukens, and so I'm going to continue reading that this week, but also in other very exciting news, a friend sent me the magical readathon that Book Roast hosts. That was tricky. I had to like really think about saying that together. It seems like so much fun. It's basically like D&D and fantasy in a readathon. You like create a character and go to a magical university as you read, and each like course that you study has a reading prompt. So you read the book to like work on the course. And like, it's just so cool and it's so involved and so creative. Like, Book Roast put together whole printables. There's like a whole history and I am so here for it. Like, I'm so excited. I've even got a bunch of my coworkers on board. They're looking into it and they're gonna do it with me. So that starts April 1st, this readathon. We start our first semester at Orillium Magical University. I love a good readathon, and this one, I've never played D&D before, but I've always wanted to, and I feel like this is like a good sort of introduction to D&D. I feel like it's bare minimum. It's about the reading, and it's also very inclusive. Like, Book Roast keeps saying like, if you're just joining now, just like pick things, don't worry. If you need to change the prompt to something that fits you better, do so. Like, it's just so, you basically can do what you want. It's about having fun, which I love. So you'll be seeing the first couple of days of that this week as well. Other than that, I don't have too many reading plans because I feel like I'm going to work to finish this in the beginning of this week, and then maybe I'll read a graphic novel before I start the readathon. The first book I'm going to tackle, my first prompt, is to read a book that intimidates you, and so I have picked the Priori of the Orange Tree because it's massive, and there's also so much hype around that book. It's just, you need to like take a breath before you get into that. So I think that's what I'm gonna start in April. So depending on how long it takes me to finish this, I'll either maybe do a graphic novel before I start it, or I'll just go right into it. We will see. I will detail more about Magical Readathon a little bit later in the vlog, maybe a bit closer to when it actually begins, but I will leave Book Roast links down below and the video that sort of explains Magical Readathon down below as well, so that you can take a peek and maybe join in if you want. It took me like, I don't know, half an hour to like create a character, and then I was like ready to go. So I feel like if you want to jump in, this vlog is going to be up after April begins. So I feel like if you do want to jump in, it's super easy to do so. It shouldn't be an issue. I'll leave all the info down below, and I'll see you later. Good evening. I am 104 pages into In Deeper Waters, chapter 7. It's very sweet and very, like, it's easily likable. I'm enjoying it a lot so far, and I think I will make pretty quick work of this. I'm also reading, one of my holds from the library came in. I guess it has a long wait time, and there are a few copies that like skip the line, and so instead of getting them for 21 days, you get it for 7. And so I decided to read it. I figured I could finish it within 7 days. It's a general fiction romance called Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousins. You can't see it. Basically, it's about this woman who works for an online platform, and she interviews couples who have met in like a really interesting way, like a meet cute or something, and she is envious of them. She wants that. She wants that sort of deep connection to a person like her parents had. And she goes on a trip for work to tell her parents' story of how they met. She kind of bumps into this guy on the plane and spills her luggage all over the plane because she has to check her carry-on instead of having it on board with her. And later, as she gets off the plane, she's so mortified by this experience and so annoyed with the person who was sitting next to her on the flight that she just grabs her suitcase and goes, and doesn't realize until she gets to her hotel that she has taken the wrong suitcase. And so she's just like opened this suitcase and is like looking through the other person's belongings and is like, oh my god, my perfect person must own this suitcase because of everything in it. It's just like too close to what she loves and wants to be coincidence. Now she's going to go in search of this person who must have her suitcase as well. It's very cute so far. I strongly relate to the main character. She's quirky and funny, and just like what she's going through in life, I'm like, oh, relatable as hell. So I'm enjoying that so far. I'm on chapter 5, page 61 on my little Libby app, and so I'm going to read that this week as well. I'm hoping to finish that in the next couple of days before the readathon as well. Anyways, that is what's going on. That's the reading update. Chapter 12 of, it's so dark behind me and so light in front of me, I just feel like a bit like a floating head, especially when I do this. I'm on chapter 12 of In Deeper Waters. There's only 20 chapters, so I'm nearing the end. It is a very quick read and it's very, very enjoyable. It's a great sort of coming of age tale. It's just very sweet and like quite wholesome, which is what I predicted it to be, and I love it. I'm probably going to finish this book tonight when I get home, depending on how much I read in the next sort of hour and a bit. And then I'm going to keep reading Just Haven't Met You Yet on my Libby app. I haven't read any of that today, but it's enjoyable so far. I'm very intrigued to see where it's going to go. I have 2 theories of the direction that it's going to take, and I'm interested to see where we're going. I think it's going to be a very cute read as well. I just finished In Deeper Waters by F.T. Lukens. It was so sweet and wholesome and just very cute. It had a lovely fantasy element to it. I do think that the pacing was very, very fast. It is a quick read if you're looking for something quick and light. It made me smile. It was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. Recommend. The other thing I wanted to say before my camera battery dies is that I may have made a purchase at work today. Oops. Listen. We got some cute new stuff in, and we were very close to the sales goal of the day, so I needed to help the store. Okay? So let me just show you what I bought, okay? I bought this. We got this in today. It came out today. This is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. I just thought, like, what a coinkydink that I was reading this one and then we got this at the store today. So I was like, I'm gonna buy it. It's another really lovely cover. It seems like it's gonna be another like really light, kind of quirky, funny read. And then we got air fresheners in, and they're like stupidly cute. So obviously I had to buy some. The bees one smells like honeysuckle. There's a little scratch and sniff. With strawberries, obviously smells like strawberry. It smells so good. I'm excited to pop those into my car. Anyways, that's that. That's the update. I work a lot this week, so I feel as though, I mean, I've already finished a book this week, so that's exciting. But I work a lot this week, so I'm not going to be able to read quite as much as last week, maybe? I'm just going to read and try my best. All right, I'll see you later. Hello. I just had the longest bath and it was so nice, and I read about 6 chapters of Just Haven't Met You Yet, and it's so cute. It's a little bit cringy, but it's so cute. It's definitely going in a direction I didn't expect when I first started it, but quickly caught on to and now like adore. I'm going to read now for the next 2 hours until my singing lesson, and I desperately would like to finish this book today. It's very cute. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm going to buy the physical copy. It's just making me smile, and it's just a very feel-good book. There are some like cringy moments. Like, for example, the premise of the book is that our main character goes on a work trip and she grabs the wrong suitcase on the way out. And she is nosy and looks through the suitcase, as would I, because I too am nosy, and finds that like the contents of the suitcase are exactly what she pictures her dream man to like own. And so she like goes on this grand adventure to find the owner of the suitcase, convinced he's going to be her soulmate, and she enlists a cabbie to help her and like tour her around the island to do the stuff she came to do for work, but also help her find the owner of this suitcase. She holds on to the suitcase and refuses to give it to the airline because she wants to do a swap in person because she's convinced that he has her suitcase too. And so it's just awkward because she like goes to the airport to ask if they can contact him for her, and she like runs away with the suitcase because she doesn't want to give it to them. And then she like wears his sweater because she's cold and doesn't have anything, and she's like losing his belongings. Like a dog just ripped that sweater to shreds, and one of his shoes has been flung over a canyon. Like, I just am dreading the moment that she actually finds this man and returns his suitcase, because there's gonna be nothing left in it. She's going to be returning an empty suitcase at this point. Like, I'm just, the secondhand embarrassment, the cringe, I'm just like, oh no, this is gonna be so bad. So I'm dreading that moment, but the rest of it is like quite hilarious and quite cute. So I'm very much enjoying it so far. Magical Readathon starts tomorrow. So now that I have the day off and a hot minute, I guess I should explain the Magical Readathon. Basically, it's a readathon that combines like D&D aspects and fantasy aspects and like a readathon all together. So you create a character and you go to a magical university to study a calling or a career as you read. And so you create your character, you get sorted into a guild, you pick a conduit for your magic to flow through. Like, it's really cool and quite nerdy, and I love that. When you pick your calling, you have a list of classes that you have to take, and each class you have a corresponding reading prompt to take the class. So like one of my classes, for example, is lore, and the reading prompt for that, I believe, is to read a book with mythology. So then you pick a book with that to read, and then you've taken the class basically. And then there is another readathon in August For each class, you have to get a certain grade level. There are 3 grade levels. And so in August, you study to get your grade levels for the classes that you've taken in April. So it's like quite involved, and it's just like so much fun. The amount of effort, the work Book Roast has put into this readathon is like top notch. It's so detailed. There are printables, there's like a history of this place, and like you can gain points for your guild kind of thing. It's like really, really neat, and I think it's just gonna be such a blast, and I've never done anything like it before. I've always wanted to play D&D, but it just seems so intimidating. Like there just seems so much to know and figure out as you start. I'm sure once you get going, it's super easy and fun, but like it's just intimidating from the outside to try and like peck your way into. So I feel like this is such a great like introduction to D&D in a way, and also like I love fantasy and I love reading, so I think this is going to be like such a good readathon for me. There's like a Discord, there are like quests you can do along the way. Like I'm just so stoked. I will leave the announcement video for the readathon linked down below in case you want to check it out and see all of the information, see if it's for you, and I will update you in further weekly reading vlogs as to like what's going on, what it's like, that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyways, that's the info on that. So I really would love to finish this book today so that I can start April totally fresh for the readathon. I just finished Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousins. It was so chaotic and hilarious and heartfelt. I really enjoyed that. There were definitely a few moments of like super cringe when the main character gets herself into a couple of sticky situations, but for the most part it was very sweet and kind of endearing, because it's about this woman who she sort of centers herself on other people's love stories, and she dreams of having this sort of like meet cute and this grand love story for herself as well. And it's all kind of based around her parents' love story. They met sort of on a whim. Her mother found a coin that was like cut in half, and there's like a specific saying on it, and so she went and searched for the other half of the coin and found it on this island called Jersey, where she met a man whom she loved. So she's grown up with this sort of love stories, and so as an adult she works for a online platform, and she tells other people's love stories. And so when the magazine is sort of suffering and they need some sort of feel-good story, Laura, our main character, offers to go to Jersey and discover her parents' love story and tell that story. And basically none of it turns out how she expected. She learns a lot of things about her family, and she finds out that you can't force love, and you find things most times when you didn't think you were looking. And it's just like a very sweet, tension-filled, little bit of a love triangle story. It's hilarious. I couldn't stop reading it today. I just wanted to read the entire thing. I binge read it. Laura's a very relatable character, except for when she's doing stupid things that make me want to throw the book. But for the most part, she's super relatable, she's hilarious, she's quirky, and I loved it. I loved it. So now that I've finished that book, I am freed up for tomorrow to start the magical readathon. However, I work all day long tomorrow, so I'm really not gonna read all that much tomorrow, which is sad, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Good morning! Today is the start of the magical readathon. I'm very, very excited. Mother Nature hates us, pulling an April Fool's joke because it's snowing, and yesterday it was like plus 17, so I don't know what's going on. I have not yet started Priori of the Orange Tree. I am working quite the day today, but we've got our Priori of the Orange Tree all set. I'm actually super stoked. I was like nervous because there's so much hype around it. It's such a huge book as well, and for some reason like the back of the book just doesn't grab me right away, but it's been a hot second since I did read the back of the book, so I know that it's sapphic and I know that it's like a high fantasy. That's all I know about it. I tend to like going into fantasy books knowing absolutely nothing so that I can form my own opinion and be surprised, either pleasantly or not, by the book. And so I'm actually quite looking forward to getting into this one and seeing just why everyone loves it, and hopefully I too will love it. A friend of mine, I told her I was reading this and she was like, oh my god, your thumb is gonna fall off. It has so many pages. But that's the plan for today. I'm gonna be at work all day long, so I do have a couple of breaks that I can read today, but other than that, it's we're not gonna be making much progress on the readathon today. That's all right. Hello, hello. This is future Brooke. Coming here to end this week's reading vlog because, so what happened is that I got kind of tangled up in a little animal rescue situation, and so I really didn't vlog all that much the last couple of days of this past week. So we've come to the end of the week and I'm going to be starting a new weekly reading vlog that you will be able to see next week. So here I am to give you, I guess, an awkward ending to this week's vlog. I haven't gotten very far into Priori of the Orange Tree yet, but I'm enjoying it. I'm intrigued as to where it's going to go, sort of how it's shaping itself to be. But I'm so excited that the Magical Readathon has started. My coworker and I, who are both doing it, we have been conferring back and forth about what we're reading, what's going on. So I'm super, super excited for that, and I'm so excited to keep showing you what I'm reading and kind of what's going on in the readathon over the next couple of weeks. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you enjoy this week's video, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.